Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Marley Caden here in our Chicago headquarters alongside Sam Vadas on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Joining us now to discuss the earnings from Palo Alto Networks is Nathaniel T. Bradley, the CEO of Datavault AI. Nathaniel, thank you for being with us today. I'd love to get your thoughts here on this action that we're seeing from Palo Alto. We get this beat on the top and the bottom lines. They adjust most of their guidance to the upside, all of it still within range. And then they announced this acquisition of Chronosphere here, but we are still seeing shares down more than 4%. Can you walk us through some of your takeaways and why you think we're seeing this move to the downside?
Well, I think primarily you see here a pullback that investors can take advantage of. This is a company that's been very diligent about making strategic acquisitions. They had, of course, the CyberArk acquisition, and now this Chronosphere acquisition that they announced today could be potential, fear of dilution here that's drawing back the price. But you do see a recovery in late trading. I think you'll see that aftermarket recovery. Chronosphere is not a small transaction. It's a $3.5 or $3.3 billion acquisition. CyberArk was a magnitude higher, like 10 times that, in the 30 billion range. The idea that these acquisitions are all part of a platform, and what I like about Palo Alto Networks, and why I think that this pullback is an opportunity for investors, is that they've done an exceptional job of leading with platform. They are a comprehensive platform in cybersecurity, but they've added now observability with Chronosphere. CyberArk was about identity. They're adding the key components for the next wave of cybersecurity around AI agents. And these agents will be out in the field. A lot of this cybersecurity is now considering a much more sophisticated approach around AI. Obviously, our use of AI is bringing a great deal of traffic and a great deal more attack substrate for those that would seek to penetrate these systems or have a clandestine motivation to penetrate networks. And cybersecurity is going to be at the forefront of these decisions by CEOs moving forward about acquiring high quality cybersecurity in a platform that does everything we need it to do.
Right. So when we saw Palo Alto actually buying CyberArk, a lot of the conversation had sort of shifted to the fact that this company was trying to position itself as sort of a one-stop shop within the sort of cybersecurity space. And that's where it was sort of carving out a bit of an edge for itself to be able to be a platform in which can address many of the customers' and clients' needs all in one. What does this tell you with regards to Chronosphere about consolidation in this space?
So I think it's a trend you see continue. It's very expensive to operate these systems. And when you have a leader like Palo Alto, you're able to get such efficiencies. Chronosphere is probably looking at a number of efficiencies that they just gained in their operation within Palo Alto's infrastructure. So I think the consolidation you'll see continue. I think in respect to the platform always wins. I think Palo Alto is well positioned, and they've turned away considerable revenues where it was enticing for them to move away or off platform, and they've stayed to the discipline of having platform, which I think ultimately serves investors.
And as we look at this acquisition, as a potentially one of the drivers to the downside here just because of its cost, how important is it with cybersecurity and how intense the competition is that Palo Alto continue to make acquisitions like this, carefully selecting them to maintain its lead in this space?
I really feel you hit the nail on the head there. It is something that needs to continue, and you can see there's a discipline, and you get better at acquisitions as an organization. Palo Alto's, assimilating these organizations under their control, but also increasing their margin, increasing their efficiency, bringing them into platform. And I believe that's something that is important to their growth, but it's also something that they've been really a trendsetter or a leader in that concept. And I think their concept is a winning one around the use of platform in cybersecurity. We have so many sales, as CEOs, as managers of organizations, when you have a fragmentation in your vendor base around cybersecurity, there can be a finger pointing. Or a lack of control or understanding of how you gain control, and so these platforms are serving a very good purpose in cybersecurity, in that they open up a purchase where you can get everything you need in cybersecurity from one vendor.
You know, we just heard from Nvidia with some very good earnings as well. And, you know, obviously a lot of the demand coming from the data centers is obviously because of the fact that the workloads have changed, particularly because of artificial intelligence. What is this whole picture telling you about the opportunities that AI and the risks out there are presenting as far as some of the demand when it comes to some of these IT budgets, even in the face of, you know, cyclical downturns and macroeconomic pressures and some of the uncertainties around the economy?
Yeah, so this is not recession proof, but it's pert near. There is a have and have nots around this AI. It's very elitist to start with. You know, the richest companies in the world are using AI at a level you wouldn't believe right now. That's trickled down, unfortunately, you know, as these technologies tend to go. The free versions are very intrusive and take a lot from consumers and from users. If you're using the free versions or the non-bifurcated versions of AI, there's a trend towards, you know, going back to stovepiping AI into the control of companies. But in the macro, you have Nvidia and many other companies that are feasting on this scarcity around GPUs, around memory, around all of the components of network operating centers. All of these are under great demand. And you're going to see scarcity drive price points in there. You also have, you know, the quality of what we're protecting with cybersecurity is increased. So cybersecurity is at the forefront of the decision making of all executives right now in terms of how to grow scalable systems online.
Nathaniel, always appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your reaction to Palo Alto's report card. We'll do it again soon. Nathaniel T. Bradley, Datavault AI and